This is Steve Koleno, and this is Confidential Remarks. For years, the industry advice was to post everywhere, all the time, using every available hook to capture attention. This led to a content environment where everyone followed the same playbooks and used the same scripts. Now that environment has changed. Tools exist that can pull basic facts off the internet and repackage them in seconds, meaning the effort required to produce standard how-to advice has essentially vanished. You might find yourself grinding out daily carousels and motivational quotes, only to realize you're competing in a global race to the bottom. In this landscape, generalist creators are often forced to compete purely on price because their advice feels interchangeable. When information becomes infinitely reproducible, it loses its market value. If your strategy relies on sharing general knowledge, you're selling a commodity rather than demonstrating unique expertise. The scale of this shift is massive. Every week, 800 million people now use AI chatbots to find answers, bypassing traditional social feeds and search results entirely. These large language models instantly replicate and aggregate standard advice. If your video is just a list of common tips, an AI can generate that same information in a fraction of a second, effectively devaluing your content before you even hit publish. Survival in this market requires moving away from commodity information. The goal is now to build a moat around your authority using evidence that an algorithm cannot replicate. Many businesses believe that casting a wide net with broad topics is the best way to attract more clients. They assume that being a generalist makes them more accessible to a larger audience. But look at the data. A tutor posting about SAT prep, athletic scholarships, and college admissions speaks to completely different groups. This creates algorithmic confusion. Discovery systems struggle to identify the core audience and stop recommending your content entirely. The alternative is single-lane positioning. You must make your specific focus unmistakable in every piece of content. Use the hesitation test. If a prospect hears your pitch and wonders for even a second if you're for them, you are still too broad. Narrowing your focus provides the definitive data signals that recommendation engines require to accurately categorize and promote your business. Most businesses still choose where to post based solely on where their human audience passively scrolls. They focus on short-form feeds, hoping to catch someone's eye mid-scroll. However, search behavior is changing. A quarter of search traffic is moving to AI chatbots, and nearly 30% of AI overviews now pull data directly from video transcripts. A CEO facing a specific leadership crisis won't wait for a relevant post to appear in their feed. They type their question into an AI search bar. While short-form posts are invisible to these queries, long-form video transcripts are scanned, indexed, and cited as a source. This creates a new standard called spoken word SEO. Every word you say on camera becomes a searchable data point for AI engines that curate recommendations for high-intent leads. To be discovered today, your content architecture must be optimized for the AI systems that act as the new gatekeepers between you and your human clients. When you finally get a viewer's attention, the impulse is to lead with your resume. You list your years of experience and your degrees, but these credentials often fail to build immediate trust because the viewer hasn't yet felt that you understand their problem. Trust is built through the pain mirror. You must articulate the visceral, often financial cost of your prospect's problem using their own vocabulary. If a client is drowning in work, describe the exact feeling of staying at the office until 9 p.m. while their team remains completely checked out. Once the problem is mirrored, you need proof of human. This involves showing proprietary campaign numbers, specific live case studies, and hard-won receipts that demonstrate you have actually done the work. AI can hallucinate a perfect answer, but it cannot replicate a screenshot of a real project or the specific data from a campaign you personally managed. Raw data and reflected pain create a verification of expertise. This combination immediately separates your market command from the surface-level noise generated by AI. In this new baseline reality, simply producing more content does not correlate with authority. Information has become too accessible for volume to be a competitive advantage. AI can generate hooks and edit footage, but it lacks a metal seal of authenticity, a physical history of real-world execution. It cannot prove that it has solved a human problem in a messy, real-time environment. This is why live, unscripted environments are becoming so valuable. When an expert answers a difficult question during a Q&A, they demonstrate a level of mastery that an algorithm cannot fake. Combining single-lane positioning, AI-optimized transcripts, and undeniable proof creates an authority architecture. Specialized, unfakeable authority is the only defense against the infinite noise of generated content. Commit to this architecture to ensure your expertise remains the definitive choice for machines and humans. This has been Confidential Remarks.